Hello, everyone. Another daytime stream. Crazy. Shut up, Will. Hear myself. I want to hear myself. Okay. All right. See this look on my face? This is being awake at a time that don't like being awake. I'm just kidding. I'm actually fine. I I'm gonna try to do these more often because I get a lot of messages. Well, not really messages, but I see a lot of comments like, "Oh, this is so past my bedtime." Sorry, I got a job where I don't get off work until midnight. You know, uh, I don't know what to tell you. Um, and so the thing is even though I work at a gym and I work out at the gym that I work at, we're not allowed to, like, there's something with the insurance or something that it doesn't cover anything after business hours. So once the club is closed, we can't stay and work out. I would totally switch these things up to daytime streams and work out after my shift at work, but I can't do that. So what I'm going to try to do, I mean, I'm gonna have to change some habits around, but this is important to me. I know it's important to a lot of you. So what I'm gonna try to get up earlier enough to where I can do these streams, get to the gym on time before my work shift, and everything is, right as rain, if that is the case. So hopefully, maybe I can do that. Maybe not. Let's see how these daytime streams go. I'm in the Eastern time zone, Kaylee P. So, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna try to, because we'll see how these go. You know what I mean? I'm in a different mood at night. I mean, I think that's anyone. There's a different mood in between before you work and after you get off work. There's a certain vibe. There's a certain vibe at night versus the daytime when the sun is out. So I want to try to get used to all that, and I want to try to work with everybody here because, I don't want, because, man, bless your hearts. I have, like, so many, like, really devoted supporters, and they'll sit there at 1 a.m, try to stay awake, listening to my live streams. So I want to try to find some sort of common ground where everybody is happy and we all have a great time when we do this, because what's most important here is that we continue to enjoy ourselves, because the subject matter that we talk about here, it can be pretty depressing, to be honest. So uh it's important to try to maintain a positive and upbeat demeanor, mood, I guess, when we're talking about kids getting murdered by their own folks. Like, that's a bummer, man. And this case is particularly infuriating. This little James Hutchinson, little Hutch, little dude, he didn't do nothing to nobody. Makes me mad, and we got to talk about it. It's important. I feel like these are things that are really important to talk about. Before we get into that, let's talk about one of the most important events um, that took place here in our country. I mean, this is the kind of thing that took place yesterday that it wasn't just about being an American. It's about being human, about being an earthling. You know, there's a certain, even wild animals treat each other with a certain dignity and respect. You know what I mean? Even wild animals do. And when things like what took place with Derek Chauvin and George Floyd, when something like that takes place, that makes us just the ugliest things to ever walk around on this rock. You know, there's just so much ugliness about it. And I don't even believe it was a racially motivated crime. If I'm being completely honest, I really don't. Otherwise, you would have been charged with it. Chauvin would have been charged with it. If the prosecution felt that they could prove that, he would have been charged with that. The problem is there was just nothing to indicate it. There was no, other than the fact that George Floyd is a person of color and Derek Chauvin is a white police officer. There's nothing to indicate that. The other officers were that was I've said this before on this channel. Those 4 officers were the most diverse group of people, ethnically. So, I mean, I'm not out to go and make something out to be what I don't think or believe that it is. I don't think that that's productive. And I see it happening all over social media, but I'm seeing this one image. Everybody keeps sharing this one image of like George Floyd's head and then his body. And then there's all these, civil rights heroes, from history in there, or victims even of racially motivated crimes that took place in our history. Does Rodney King belong up there? Absolutely. Sure. I'm just not sure George Floyd, his situation was racially motivated. I just, I want to look at evidence, and and if I'm looking at the evidence, I don't see that. You know what I mean? Now, when you look at the footage of this guy and what he's doing, this is my concern. This is my concern, period. My concern about the George Floyd, Derek Chauvin case is that Derek Chauvin abused his power as a police officer, and the other officers did absolutely nothing. Now, when you watch the body cam footage of these officers, they're pretty by the book. I don't really know what the book is. In all fairness, I'm not a cop, but they're pretty by the book. They're referring to him as sir. They're saying, "Sir, you got to get in the car." This and that. They're trying to reason with him. They're trying to work with him. They seem to be, and these are the other officers. It doesn't seem to get violent until Chauvin's knee is on George Floyd's neck. And at that point, I see a remorseless, cold individual perpetrating a horrible crime. I can't get enough of that. I can't think that enough. Is what I mean by that. And this is what I'm concerned about now, because yes, great day in our justice system yesterday. Great day in our justice system. He was found guilty on all charges. The the defense did a good job of trying to create doubt. That's their job, right? But at the end of the day, let's face it, it was smoke and mirrors. It was misdirection. These were misdirection tactics, trying to make it seem like he overdosed, trying to make it just a whole lot of show, a whole lot of dizzle dazzle. And I mean, that's their job, that's their job. But kudos to the jury for seeing through it. 12 members of the jury, all unanimous, says this guy needs to pay for what he's done. And I really think that the reason that is, personally, my personal opinion, my uneducated opinion, is his showing of a complete lack of remorse this entire time. This guy hasn't yet to make a statement. This guy hasn't apologized. He took the fifth in court. And here's the thing. I don't blame him for taking the fifth. If your lawyer tells you, dude, just your best bet, just keep your mouth shut. Your best bet is just keep your mouth shut because this is not looking good right now. So when you've got something like that happening, right? And then the jury does find you guilty, right? The jury finds you guilty. That's it. Now it's up to sentencing. Problem with that is now in sentencing, the judge is going to remember things like this dude pleaded the fifth. He showed no remorse or emotion. He's showed no sympathy towards George Floyd's loved ones. And I think that matters. Oh, Rosie, I'm sure that'll happen at some point. I'm sure that will. But yeah, I just I think this judge has a lot of pressure on him. I do not envy the pressure that this judge has when it's going to come to sentencing here. But I'm of the opinion that based on the way that this person has conducted themselves this entire time throughout this entire ordeal and what it has done, the impact that it has made on this country, his actions have made an incredible impact on this country. On top of COVID, we need this shit. You see what I'm saying? So if I'm that judge, I'm like, listen, dude, I don't ever want to see your face again. I'm giving you the max of whatever the law allows me to give you. That's how I see it. That's just how I see it. It's not, I mean, if I'm this guy, I'm begging the world for forgiveness. If it was accidental, I mean, you want to convince the world that it was accidental, and I still don't think that he deliberately murdered this man, but I don't think that he cared whether or not he did. I don't think it mattered to him at the time of it happening whether or not this man lived or died. He was not concerned with his life at all. He was not concerned with this man's well-being at all. Do I think that he was trying to kill him? No. But he sure as hell didn't care. Your job is literally to protect and serve. Well, you should have protected this man. You should have protected the public and what they were seeing and witnessing and filming with their cameras, phones. Wait, are you saying I didn't watch the trial? I watched the trial. I just didn't talk about it on here. I watched that trial, and I talked about how I was watching it on Crime Talk, Scott Reich's channel. So yeah, no. This dude, yeah, I feel like he deserves the max. He's not. He seems to have absolutely no interest in doing the public any good, and this coming from what this is coming from a police officer. Shouldn't a police officer be someone to step up and set that example for somebody who has behaved in the way that this man has, who has done the things that he has done? Shouldn't he, as a former police officer, be the first one to stand up and say, "Hey, what I did was absolutely wrong, and I do not want my actions to reflect on the entire police force"? At the very least. So yeah, I think he should get the max, because I don't think he gives a shit. You know what? You're getting on my nerves. Anyway, so moving forward, there is a major / minor development in the little James Hutchinson case. Brittany Gosney is on trial. She is his mother. And just to bring you a little bit up to speed, on Saturday, February 27th at 3 a.m., there is a police report that states that Gosney drove her kids at the ages of 9, 7, and 6 to Rush Run Park in Preble County at 3 a.m. Saturday morning. She apparently told the police that her boyfriend Hamilton, James Hamilton, was pressuring her to get rid of her children. Investigators believe it was her intention to leave all 3 children at the park. The police report says Brittany stated she had planned to get the kids out of the vehicle and to leave them behind, as Hamilton had been pressuring her to get rid of the kids. When doing this, the 6-year-old Hutchinson grabbed onto the door handle. Brittany slammed the gas, trying to leave the kids, and drug Hutchinson, possibly running him over, according to the police report. Now, supposedly they went back to the scene, and law enforcement investigators didn't find any evidence that this took place. So right now it's believed, I'm of the belief that it didn't happen the way that she says it happened. I personally believe that James Hamilton is just as involved as she is. I personally believe that he is the mastermind, the brains behind the whole thing. Not that this was some mastermind criminal act, but I believe that if there is a mastermind between the two of them, it's the boyfriend. It's James Hamilton. So, but some good news here. There's some new details that were made public as far as the evidence that the prosecution has and will be using in court. Now, so apparently they have a surveillance video from Gosney's home. they it says here that the video may be relevant to the case because police say Gosney returned to the park, put her kids in the minivan, and returned to the Middleton home. Right. So apparently that's what she supposedly did, was she went back and picked up the other kids, picked up little Hutch's body, and they put him in a spare bedroom in their house for 28 days, or for 48 hours. The hell was I saying 28 days? I was thinking about something else at the very same time. ADHD, people, it's a real thing. So they had his corpse supposedly for 48 hours in the spare bedroom, and then they supposedly took him to a bridge to the river and dumped his body in the river. Now they still have not found little Hutch's body. They're still looking for that. And I'm in a group. I'm in a Facebook group for this case, which I don't know why I did that, but so far everybody's been cool, and I haven't really spent a lot of time in there. But I still have nightmares about Watt's Facebook groups. So, but somebody made a comment, because somebody posted this article in there, and someone made a comment saying, how can they convict someone of murder without a body? I mean, there's cases like this all the time. As a matter of fact, Joe Clyde Daniels, we still don't have a body for him. But his dad is charged with murder. So, I think all it takes, is for them to find enough evidence that a murder took place, blood or a weapon with blood on it, or whatever. There's other indications that a murder has taken place, besides a body. At the end of the day, the body of a victim is just evidence. It's another piece of evidence designed to put this person closer to a conviction. So you take away that one piece of evidence, that's not going to take away from, now that's a strong piece of evidence. That's showing you that person is no longer with us. But if you have enough of other pieces of evidence, versus just that one piece of evidence, then you probably have enough for a conviction. I would imagine so, but I don't know. Now, so they also obtained warrants for 2 hard drives and Gosney's minivan, the house, and her garage. I'm guessing she has a separate garage, and her phones, and 3 others. There were also digital files which possibly came from a cell phone, including calls, photos, and texts. So who knows? I mean, they could have conversations galore between the two of these people about what they're going to do to these kids. There could be hateful comments. There could be, I mean, God knows what's on these phones. And the most, I think, what could be the strongest piece of evidence here possibly is going to be the hard drive from that video camera. But they says here that the court records state that Gosney and Hamilton removed the hard drive from the video cameras and their residence, along with tape and rope that they used to bind little Hutch and the other 2 kids. So, and I haven't really gotten into that yet either. Yeah, it's become public that that the court records show that apparently they hogtied all three of these kids prior to the incident in question. Like just prior to that. They did it for, I think it was days. I don't really know. Nicole H probably knows better than I do. And a big shout out to her because she's been keeping me up to date with all the articles and everything that's been going on with this case. She's very passionate about this case. What a weirdo. Whoever that tapped me out person was. Yeah, weirdo. Anyway. Yeah, so if they can get the hard drives for that camera, if they can get the hard drive for the camera, who knows what that's going to show? I mean, we're not talking about video footage from the neighbor's camera that is all grainy and we're like, what's going on here? We're talking about camera footage of it's their camera footage. Thank you so much, Jenny. I appreciate that. What's up, Caleb? Yeah, good job, Cherry K. Thank you. It's the trolls, man. The trolls happen, dude. The trolls happen. I gotta do my Mexi get rid of the trolls. Like I'm Mexi talking to demons. Is that you? Is that you making me sick? You want me to leave? Susan, thank you. Susan, that was very, very sweet, very kind. Thank you. Yeah, you got to give them that Mexi power, dude. Got to give them that Mexi power. You know, Rosie, I used to give out my email, and I've realized recently that it causes me more trouble than it causes me more trouble than any good. Like, it's just inconvenient for me to have my email out there so easily accessible. It's out there, so if you get it, you know, I might reply, but I'm not having my mods share the email in chat anymore. I just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. You know, and that's just to control the amount of emails that come through. So anybody who, yeah, if yeah, if you get a hold of the email, cool, you know. Dude, and look at all these members in here, man. That's so awesome. Yeah, so we're talking about surveillance footage from their house. So I can imagine how clear that's probably going to be. You know, it's their own surveillance footage of where they come in and out of the house. Dude, you know, if they find the hard drive for that thing, investigators are going to go over that thing with a fine-tooth comb. They're going to be going over every millisecond. Cat's Eye, welcome. Thank you. They're going to be going over every millisecond of this thing, dude. And the phones. Dude, if this lady is as stupid as she's trying to make herself out to be, can you imagine what the hell's on those phones? I'm sorry, dude, but she's up here. She's trying to pass off her lack of intelligence as a mental disability, as a not being able to stand trial, not being able to not being competent to stand trial. That's how she's making herself out to be. Yeah, I need to do these daytime ones more, man, because then, because then my man Caleb shows up with the comments, dude. I love it. I love it. Yeah, like, okay. Let's imagine that scenario for a second. Alexandra Jaros. Alexandra Jaros. Welcome. So, sorry, we got to make fun of these people, dude. This is how this has got to go. All right, we do it with nasty Letitia Stock. These people deserve it. That's our redemption. Having a YouTube channel, when we talk about cases like this, we get to drag the hell out of these morons who do nasty, dirty things without feeling guilty about it. And let me tell you something. That is a special level of stupid. If you know you have surveillance cameras, you commit a premeditated crime, because I do believe this crime was premeditated. Make no mistake about that, people. I believe this crime to be absolutely premeditated. Planned this out. They executed the crime poorly, more than likely, and then recorded it. Forgot to realize that they got cameras, their own cameras. You're not going to turn off the cameras before you commit this crime, dude? You're going to record yourself? Dude, I can't wait. I can't wait till I hear a police officer take the stand and maintain his composure when he's explaining the evidence that these idiots left behind. Because I'm imagining that they did the sloppiest, shittiest job. I mean, you have to kind of assume so, though, right? You have to kind of assume so. Thank you so much, Jenny. How do you become a member? That's a good question. I don't even know. I'm still working on how to do the memberships thing, man. I promise I'm gonna make it totally worth it. But I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But I mean, imagine. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying imagine how much evidence they probably left behind, considering that they're trying to convict for murder and they don't have a body. Now, they did have a confession, but the confession is garbage. The confession means nothing because the police didn't find any evidence at the scene where she says this took place. There you go. Click the join on my homepage. Tart with a heart. Yeah, man. Yeah. Because if I'm going to get something out of this case, then it's going to be the enjoyment of watching these people, all their mistakes being made in court. I want to see the prosecution just show just tons of evidence that these two morons left behind. Dude, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm going to enjoy that. Nobody's going to take that away from me. Nobody's going to take that away from me. The prosecution is going to provide that to me. That's exactly what's going to happen. Prosecution is going to provide this to me. And I believe they're going to do this with Joe Clyde Daniels, because that dad, I mean, yeah, he's a manipulative son of a bitch. Nicole H, thank you. Yeah, he's an absolutely manipulative son of a bitch. And he's toying with law enforcement right now, as far as where the body is. Like, when it comes to little Hutch, I mean, rest his soul, they threw him in the river, right? But it stands to reason that they're going to have a hard time finding him. He's in the river. Anything could have happened. Anything could have happened. But when it comes to Joe Clyde Daniels, this guy has taken law enforcement to 6 or 7 different locations saying, yep, that's where I left him. Well, he's not a genius phantasmagorical. He tested near genius level, right? But I mean, I don't know. Like, but yeah, after hearing the phone call between him and his father from jail, yeah, I think that he's extremely manipulative. I think he's well versed. Yeah, I think this guy knows what he's doing. I think he absolutely knows what he's doing. I think he's playing his father. Yeah, like you could sense the dynamic between him and his father, which was very strange. But Joe Clyde, the middle one, he seemed to have the more dominating personality between the two of them. They had a strange father-son dynamic. LJ, yeah. I agree with you. He's absolutely going to try to manipulate everyone and play a game. He's already doing it. He's already playing a game. He's already taking the police to all these different spots. And I think that he's doing it just to get out of jail, just to get fresh air. Swear to God. I swear. That's honestly what I believe is his motive behind it. Besides, obviously, okay, well, there's no way I'm going to give up the evidence that's going to convict me. I'm pleading not guilty. They don't have anything on me, right? So in the meantime, I'm going to say, yeah, get me out of here and I'll take you to the spot where I left them. And he's done this like 6 or 7 times and he's doing it. What are they going to do? Say, no, don't take us there? So, I mean, think about it. He's just playing the cops, and just for mundane little pleasures. He's trying to get as much sunshine as he can before he goes away forever. I mean, that's never going to happen, LJ. See, I believe that he's smart enough to know that that's just not going to happen. He can't, he's not going to cut a deal. That doesn't work. That works in the movies. You're not going to get, you know what I mean? Yeah, that where they're like, oh, well, we'll cut 30 years. We'll make you eligible for parole and cut 30 years off your sentence if you tell us where the body is. Like, no, dude. Like, if you killed this kid, there's so much public pressure. There's so much public pressure. I mean, if they're taking this guy to the jail, to the courthouse from jail in a bulletproof vest over him, with a bulletproof vest over him, you know what I'm saying? Like, they have the public. It's a clear picture that they have pressure from the public to make sure justice is served and served correctly here. No, there's no way people are going to stand for that. I just don't believe that. I personally just don't believe that. Hey, all right, DH. Thank you. Yeah. So, um, I'm not going to keep this one a long one, guys. I just wanted to go over that evidence and share my thoughts, and then we ended up talking about Joe Clyde Daniels, which is fine. But yeah, as these trials develop, you know, we're going to keep talking about it on here. And DH, thank you for joining Patreon, and thank you guys, all you guys who have joined Patreon. I'm really glad that you have. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. The first one that we did was very successful. I thought we all had a blast. The goal was to just have a really good, no holds barred time. And we did. And so I hope to do that much more often. I want to make it a once a week thing, possibly. I want to make it a once a week thing. And instead of talking about current cases like this, what we'll do mostly is talk about past cases. I'm going to look into the toy box. That's going to be my next one, I think. The toy box killer. And I don't know if I'm going to Oakleaf it, though, man. I don't know about this cheap wine true crime thing, man. Christy Flanagan, thank you so much. Wow. I appreciate that. Wow. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, yesterday, man, I felt so shitty. You know, I feel better today because all of it's out of my system, you know, and I can't wait to like exercise so that I just feel better. So it's gone. I always, yeah, you know, like it's so much fun to get drunk, but it's just the older I get, the way I feel afterwards, it's just not, it's becoming less and less worth it. You know, it really honestly is. It's just becoming less and less worth it. It just doesn't feel good. Just doesn't feel good the next day or the day after that. Dude, I might. Dude, you all can do, dude, I'll even open up panel, dude. I'll even open up panel. I did that last time, didn't I? Open up? I think I was already at that point in the bottle of wine where, yeah, I did open up panel. Hey, man, do you? Ooh la Lisa. Do you? Absolutely, girl. Man, whatever. that is fine with me. I don't, you know. I'm also too old to give a shit whether people think I'm a beta or not. That's just the truth. totally forgot something here. Man, I'm really glad that that you guys have been so supported lately. It's I want to go ahead and tell you that it means a lot to me that you have been. Um I don't mean just monetarily. I mean like just, you know, there's been a lot of drama. The last few months have been crazy. I mean, just the end of 2020 was messed up all around, man. Like YouTube is supposed to be my escape from all the craziness that's been going on. And and uh and here I am on here just at war with people, dude, and dealing with, I mean, doxing and fake suicides and like, I mean, yeah, and right now everything just, you know, and then I had personal behind the scenes things going on with someone else, um, and that was getting so ugly, uh, and now, right now, and I don't want to jinx it, man. Knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it, but you know, it's so peaceful right now, and it's so nice. So right now, like, I'm really, really, really appreciating you guys. Just so you know, I just wanted to share that with you. Oh man, I don't know about all that, Caleb, but you know, but I do like, yeah, man. I love those little pockets of calmness, dude. I'm a big fan. I'm telling you right now. I mean, look, I'm human. Here's the thing. I'm human, guys. You know, I'm always going, you know, why is it, you know, and I bitch about it all the time, and it's stupid because, you know, I'm going to explain why. You know, why is it that, you know, I only have like, you know, 80 or 90 people when I talk about a murdered child or a missing woman, right? But when it's bullshit mundane drama, you know, there's like 400 or 500, sometimes 1,000 people watching. Dude, you know how many people were in this chat? I can't even remember when this guy, I don't even like saying his name, when it's exposed already that he faked a suicide. Like, he comes on here, and I mean, that's a bad example because the whole community was genuinely affected by this. So that's a bad example. That makes sense that there would be that many people concerned about it. But silly things, you know, silly things. Like if I'm feuding with Critical K, there's 500 people watching that. If I'm feuding with that girl, there's 500 people watching that. And you're like, you know, but the thing is that I get it. I get it. Thank you, Nicole. Yeah, no, I saw. I just don't know. Do they do they want to come on here? They can. They can call in. Uh but you know, but that's up to them. But I'm not going to ask them to. I'm not going to ask anybody in that situation to do anything like that. Um but no. Um, as far as the YouTube stuff, I mean, it would bother me, but now that I think about it, I'm just like, dude, I think it hit me last night. I was in Save Robbie's chat, and Save Robbie was genuinely trying to mediate and bring peace between someone who is really getting ostracized for their own actions all over the YouTube part of the drama community, I guess. Part of the Watts stuff that I stay the hell away from. But she apparently she did some ugly stuff to other people, and Robbie gave her a you know he gave her a mic to talk about and address everything, right? And gave other people a mic to address her, and did it in such a classy, respectful way. Everyone basically was respectful and behaved themselves, and most people in chat were okay. Um, but I was fascinated with Robbie's ability to coordinate this thing the way that he did. Um, and but the thing is it was pure drama. It was pure drama, right? Now there was like 400, 500 people watching that one, right? But I'm not gonna lie. When I was listening to what these people were talking about, I was like, dude, that is messed up, you know. And a part of me was just attracted to it. I couldn't turn it off. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't shut it off. And I didn't know any of those people except for Robbie. I didn't know none of those people, dude. So I mean, now all I'm saying is I kind of take that back. I understand it a little bit more. I understand what the attraction is to it. I get it. It's not for me really, but and I'm not gonna do that just to get views and just to get dude. If I got super chats for that kind of shit, you know, and I'm not talking about what Robbie did, because Robbie is he was mediating something. He was trying he was doing something for the community. He was performing an act of service. So kudos to Robbie for that. So absolutely, he absolutely deserved every super chat he got. What I'm saying is, I couldn't just no, I couldn't feel good about taking like money for just trash talking somebody, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that, man. You know, that would, yeah. I can't do that. I don't know. I mean, to each their own, man. And I'm not judging people who do. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, it's quite the opposite. Kudos to them for being able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's people out there that are just they know how to make money, man, and good for them. You know, I'm not trash talking people who know how to hustle. You know, it's never been my strong point, but I'm not. I can't do that. I get so weird about money. I don't know what it is. It's like I'm scared of it. Strange. It's super weird. And yet at the same time, I love having it. Like anybody else, I love having money. But for some reason, the idea of it scares the shit out of me at the same time. I get scared it's going to cause a problem between me and someone else. I get scared that it's going to change me into a different person. I get scared of all kinds of different things that come with money. It doesn't have to be a large amount of money. A small amount of money, like I said, could cause a problem between two people. You know what I mean? And I'm just weird about it. Just weird about it. The fake suicide man. The fake suicide man. So funny. I mean, yeah, dude, that was just like, you know, yeah, I was just like, God, what an asshole. What an asshole. That's such a shitty thing to do. Right. That too. That too. Dude, I get it, man. I totally get it, man. Yeah. It's been an eventful like past year. Dude, when COVID like first happened, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I don't even care what everybody's talking about right now. and then they started shutting everything down, and I was like, what? I was like, it's that serious? And then everything went crazy. COVID happened, everything went crazy. Dude, people were saying that about 2020. Now they're saying about 2021, you know? And man, I don't even mean to get political or nothing, man, but like, you know what? I'm not even gonna get into that. Just forget it. Just forget it. Uh, well, guys, I got some dogs to walk. I got some. It's leg day. I got to do that. So, but yeah, um, I love you guys very, very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends.